man. Detroit versus everybody, man. Detroit, we rep the hardest, man. We gain the hardest. You know what it is, man. Detroit, CJ, holla at your boy when we get home.
Don't forget to check out our sponsor, The Health Blaze, at thehealthblaze.com. 100% all natural products from lotions, soaps, foot soaks, bath bombs, and much, much more. Use the promo code Goodfella1Boxing. Tell them your boy CJ Goodfella sent you. Get 18% off. We out.
I promise you, no cap. Baranchyk and Zepeda, let me get situated because I'm so excited about this, was one of the greatest fights in my lifetime. I promise you, if you didn't tune in for this fight, I want to make sure Baranchyk is okay. So fix my computer screen. If you did not, I legit said this was going to be a great fight. I know a lot of y'all didn't care for the prediction video I did, but I've told you, this was the best fight of October 2020. It's probably the best fight of 2020. Let's talk about it. Hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. I stayed up late to watch this fight on the East Coast, and it delivered. It was not a dull moment in this fight. It was one of the greatest fights I've seen in my lifetime. Okay? They exchanged 4 knockdowns apiece. You know, Zepeda got dropped 4 times. Baranchyk got dropped 4 times. Technically, Baranchyk got dropped 5 times because they didn't count a knockdown. Okay? But this fight was a southpaw boxer versus a slugger, orthodox slugger that doesn't know how to change the speed of his punches. All right? Baranchyk, nobody really used the jab tonight. Baranchyk found success with the left hook early. I think he dropped Zepeda a couple times with the left hook. They just kept exchanging knockdowns. And what was important, I think what was telling for this fight, the difference was Zepeda started to go to the body and Baranchyk didn't. But Zepeda never really, when he reset, he never really used his jab. But he was landing his straight left. And he had 25 knockouts himself. You know, it's just something that you have to watch live. And I wanted to go live for this fight. I just don't know why I didn't go live. It was just tit for tat. Like Baranchyk power was too much for Zepeda. Zepeda stumbling around the ring. Don't want to drop. He fighting for his cousin. I think he died. You know, then he drops Baranchyk. Baranchyk looked hurt. I think the second round, he really dominated that round with Zepeda. And I think he got knocked down that round too. But Baranchyk legs didn't look good. And Baranchyk didn't have no quit. He ain't had no hoe in him. He had a little wobbly drop it like it's hot. He had a little bit of Lil Wayne in him. He did wobbly, but he was all heart. He kept swinging for the fences. And they just went to war. When you talk about, this is something that I vividly cannot remember ever experiencing in the streets, in the gym, on TV, in person. And I've been to a few fights, and I've seen a few fights in the street. I've been in a few fights in the streets myself. But it's just something that you don't really necessarily know you're going to get this type of fight where they exchange like 9 or 10 knockdowns. But neither one of these dudes wanted to lose. Real shit. And this was only a 10-round fight. Neither one of them wanted to lose this fight. Zepeda took a lot of punishment that a lot of these dudes would have quit. You know, these are throwback fighters. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have to take this fight. It fell through in the summer. They said, let's do it again for the #1 WBC ranking. You know, Zepeda took a lot of punishment. He gave a lot of punishment. You know, and Baranchyk was just relentless. And if he just would have dropped to the body a little bit more, we probably talking about a different fight. But Zepeda was the one that touched the body before the knockout. Zepeda was the one going to the body, and Baranchyk was hand hunting. If you kill the body, the head will follow. When you're dealing with guys who got good chins like Baranchyk and Zepeda, the difference was when Zepeda went to that body just a little bit, you know, then he knocks this dude out. I don't even know what the punch he knocked him out with. It was just to the point where you was on the emotional high when the first bell rung. Even when they was trying to review whatever they was reviewing after the second round going into the third, you were just on this high. Like, I mean, this is like something that you just mad that fans could not experience. And you know what? If there's a vacant belt after Josh Taylor and Ramirez fight each other, if there's a vacant belt to be had, these two should fight for 2 vacant belts. Because Baranchyk was throwing heat. The Baranchyk only problem in this fight that was fixable was Pedro Diaz should have told him to go to the body. If Baranchyk would have took some of them hard shots to the body, he would have knocked out Zepeda. He hurt Zepeda. He buzzed him. And the difference was he didn't go to the body and he didn't get on his jab. Baranchyk don't believe in using that left jab, and that's the best punch in boxing. He got left uppercut, right uppercut. He was doing overhand rights, right left hooks. He was landing them. Zepeda was going straight back into the ropes, trying to avoid that punishment. Zepeda was moving straight back. They showing it right now. Straight back with his hands down. Same thing Gabriel Flores was doing tonight. I'll talk about that tomorrow in the review, or later today, because it is tomorrow. Well, it ain't tomorrow yet when I'm doing it. But he's moving straight back, and like with his hands down. That's a bad habit to do. I'm watching it right now. Moving straight back. Got a guy coming for him. He drops his left hand to make a move. And Baranchyk clipped him. That's what the story was. Baranchyk just caught Zepeda with his hands down. Has Zepeda kept his head up? Double jab. Boom, right hand. We did use a jab there. But he double jab. He has Zepeda in the corner. Uppercut. Left hook. Right hook. I'm looking at it as they going. You know what I'm saying? And Baranchyk was that. If Baranchyk ever really sat on that jab, boom, he got that jab. Baranchyk threw a jab. Zepeda came over the top. Let me see. He came over the top with a right hook. Follow with a left hook. That ain't the combination I see him throw a lot. At least I don't notice it. You know. He came over the top he's a southpaw. Baranchyk threw a lazy jab. Zepeda caught him up, put him in position for the right hook, for the left hook. He left hook him out of southpaw. My bad. I'm looking at it from TV. He right hooks him out the southpaw. Then he sneaks the right hook in there. Man, he set him up. This dude fell up and his legs collapsed under him. He set him up. Baranchyk threw a lazy jab, which he didn't throw a lot of them jabs. I didn't see him tonight. He threw a lazy jab from this orthodox position. Zepeda came over the top with a right hook. The right hook was the setup shot. You know how certain fighters don't waste shot and they punch the land? Other fighters waste shots to get you in position. He put that right hook to put Baranchyk in position, and he knew Baranchyk wanted to get aggressive and punch. As soon as Baranchyk was like that, he tried to come up, and Baranchyk tried to come back up with a punch. Zepeda, bow, right on the button. He dressed him up. And this is why you use throwaway punches. You try to get your opponent out of position. That's what he did. He was comprehending and processing the tendencies that Baranchyk had. He know when Baranchyk threw that jab, he know he's gonna come over the top. He know when he come over the top, Baranchyk was gonna come back up. He's the other way though. Come back up with a hook. The hook wasn't going to the body. The hook was coming from down here at the hook, the hip. The hook was coming from the hip. Zepeda knew the hook was gonna come wide and it was gonna come loaded up. Loading up is when you really sit there and you throw it wild like Baranchyk do. And he just let it. He didn't really sit on them shots a lot. The right hook was to get him out of position. The left hook was just to touch him. That shot, he didn't throw that shot to knock him out. It was just the perfect velocity, the perfect accuracy. It wasn't a shot that he sat down on. And if he loaded up on that shot, he might have landed and knocked him out, but he didn't need to load up. And that's what you're talking about. When you're touching your opponent and you're not loading up on your shots. When you loading up on your shots, you telegraphing your shots and you gonna lose a target and you wasting a punch. And also you wasting energy, and when you load up, a lot of times you'll actually go down, because when you loading up, that gives the opponent the split second to make the decision to get out the way. And Zepeda just did boxing one-on-one. His only mistake tonight was moving straight back with his hands down. You know, and that was a mistake that bit him in the booty time and time again. It kept biting him. He kept moving back with his hands down. And Baranchyk took advantage of it. And that's what it tells you on the tape. You know when to go straight back. And if you do go straight back, you want to have your hands up. He dropped his hands and he tried to get off before Baranchyk did. But guess what? When Baranchyk is pushing you back towards the ropes and he's coming from the orthodox position, once he pushed you back towards the rope, he got the momentum. Baranchyk falling back like this. So he get clipped in one of the knockdowns, and Baranchyk tried to come back like he just did now. He tries to come back and land some shit on there. But this time, he really bringing it back. And Baranchyk, he got all the momentum because his weight of gravity is going back towards the ropes because he's moving back from him. Baranchyk is coming forward. He got the center of gravity. He may not be on the right platform and set, but he bringing that fire. And he was set just enough to land on him, man. And you know the difference between that knockdown they just showed in like the second round where Zepeda moved straight back, he did the same thing. You know what I'm saying? He tried to time Baranchyk coming in with that same left hook. He tried to time him with the left hook. The difference between that situation to get knocked down and knocking Baranchyk out is his weight. He wasn't on balance. He squared up like this trying to throw a shot. This time, Baranchyk throws that left jab. He said, I see it. It's lazy. I come over the top. Bam. This time, I'm not moving back. This time, I'm set. I'm set. I'm set. I'm set. My wrong feet. I'm set. So he slips it, comes over the top, let it fly. That's the difference of being positioned. It's like the high ground and the low ground. Remember the episode of, whichever when Anakin Skywalker turned into the Darth Vader? He's like, Anakin, I have the high ground. He's like, I don't care. And he told him he had the high ground, he's going to lose. Same thing. Baranchyk was in position in the knockdown he got, and Zepeda was in perfect position in the knockout. And Zepeda showed, why he deserved a title shot. Once Ramirez and Josh get it popping, a lot of people felt he beat Jose Ramirez as well. And the thing that made me pick him personally, because I seen them both fight multiple times. I broke down the Baranchyk tape, watched them fight multiple times for the World Boxing Super Series. I've watched Zepeda fight a couple of times, Ramirez and Pedraza, and I was like, you know what? The difference when I picked this fight, the difference to me was Zepeda had the power. Zepeda had never been stopped. He had been retired, but he hadn't been stopped. He knew how to box. He knew how to stick and move. And his resume told me that if he has to fight to win a fight, he'll fight. He's not one of those boxers that's scared to get his hands dirty. In the night, I mean, he's immortalized in my mind. They both put on a tremendous show. And Baranchyk, I told y'all, he was a good fighter. He just don't know how to take shit off his punches. He coming off of fire every time. He was timing Zepeda. He just dropped Zepeda with a right hook. You know what I'm saying? He was timing Zepeda. He was a good counterpuncher. His vision was good tonight. But you know what? He couldn't take it on the chops. The left hand from Zepeda was hurting him. They was punching with each other. Neither one had fear. They know he could punch. Zepeda knew Baranchyk could punch. Baranchyk knew Zepeda could punch. They had no fear. This wasn't one of those situations where a guy get knocked down, then he go into safety mode. This is one of these situations where they got knocked down and it turned them on. Like Sherrill said, it's gonna turn me on. It's to turn you on. These dudes had no fear, and this is what old school boxing about. This is the fights that we missing in boxing, not the world championship fights. We talking about the fights with a contender. This is a contender fight. This contender fight deserves to go for a championship fight. In my opinion, down the line, they should run it back for a belt. This is what we talk about boxing is missing. These are the type of fights that get you ready for world championship boxing. Baranchyk, I meant to mention, was a world champion before he had the IBF. He lost to Taylor. Zepeda, he challenged for a world championship. This is what we need in boxing. We need these contenders, these top 5 contenders, top 3 contenders to fight each other. This is what it look like. This is respect. When Zepeda go back home, respect. When Pedraza go back home, respect. Baranchyk go back home, it's just nothing but respect. Nobody went into safety mode. Imagine some of these fighters out here that's scared to take a loss, get dropped. They go into safety mode. These dudes say, man, hell no, I want to get the knockout. I want to get the knockout. This was Baranchyk, Bradley, Algieri. It was better than Algieri and Baranchyk. This is what we talking about, man. It's not like Marquez and Pacquiao, the last one they had, where they went back and forth. This fight was something that you may never see in your lifetime again, especially in this weight class. This fight was just two fighters that deserve everything. They just one of the best fighters. Gotti War, you got to put him up there with that. Vasquez and Marquez. Israel Vasquez and Marquez had just great fights. This fight could have went either way. The difference was, again, Zepeda went to the body a little bit. And Zepeda, in this time, instead of trying to launch off balance and moving backwards, it was a difference between a knockdown and knockout. He was on balance. He was off the ropes. He sat down. And he landed a punch. He didn't telegraph it. He just threw the right hook over the jab, came back with the left hook, then didn't try to throw it to kill. And they got this saying, before I address this Joe Tessitore, I think it is, and Tim Bradley, whoever he commentated with, and I got some address. I don't know how many people caught it, but that's the difference. So he just threw it in and landed. But I want to say this. I'm going to talk about Gabriel Flores tomorrow, hopefully. Excuse me. I want to put his face on. I think it's Joe Tessitore. Whoever's calling the fight with Tim Bradley today, he used a racial undertone. Somehow they was talking about 40s, right? I don't know what they was talking about. I can remember. They talking about 40s, right? And this is the second time I think this guy sneaked this Timothy Bradley. They talking about 40s, right? I don't know about being in your 40s or whatever it was. And then he was like, Timothy Bradley, you love a good 40. And Bradley was like, well, I don't drink. Now, hold on. So why does 40s and malt liquor got to be synonymous with blacks? And this is the second time this guy did it. Last time he said, I forget what he said. Tom Bennett told him, he said something about your brother Ray from Louisiana. He's like, I do got a brother. This is second time I'm Timothy Bradley. I'm pulling that dude to the side. I'm going to grab his little collar, his little tie he got because it's tied. And the reason why you wear clip-on ties in security, I used to do security for when I was younger, because so nobody can grab your tie, hack, control your neck. This is why clip-on ties was really invented, not for guys who... It does true that guys that can't tie ties, but it's good. So in security, I did security, I always wear a clip-on tie. So if I got into a fight and a dude try to grab my tie, come off. If I have a full tie, you grab my tie. It's a wrap. Or to give him a little bit of advantage. But this dude come in and make Timothy Bradley synonymous because he's black with malt liquor. So let me know if you caught that little racial undertone. But I appreciate it. Great fight. Bob Arum, Top Rank. Good for remaking this fight because eventually fell off because I think Baranchyk got into an injury. So great fight. Jose Zepeda, you deserve a championship fight. Get a belt. Baranchyk, when you get better, y'all deserve to run it back with fans. And hopefully I could be in attendance. And that's a classic fight. And I think they can replicate that. But hey, let me know what you guys think. Greatest fight I've seen in a while. Congratulations, Zepeda. He running a knockout, 5th round with 2 minutes and 50 seconds into the round. With 2 minutes and 50 seconds to the round. So let me know what you got. Zepeda, he improves to 33-2, 26 knockouts. His only loss was coming to Terry Flanagan, I think, he retired maybe with an injury. Appreciate it. Want to make a donation to the channel? Cash App at CJGood313. PayPal link in the description. Other than that, you want to follow me on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter is in the description. We also got a Facebook group, that link's there as well. If you want a video request, you want to talk, you want a sponsorship on the channel, whatever it is, chop it up. I'm there. Twitter is the fastest way. Appreciate the love, support. One time for the one time. Congratulations to Jose Zepeda again. We gone.